Hello everyone. Welcome to Gag Reflex, presented by Grindr, a celebration of queer comedy, and I am your host, Jurden. I am doing something for Grindr I have not done in over 4 years. I am hosting, and I'm glad that it is so many people and a few cuties. I'm excited. I'm very happy to present a slew of very talented and very funny comedians for us to enjoy and to celebrate the 12-year anniversary slash birthday of this love and dating app. Okay, some people are already being loud, which we encourage. That's the other note I was going to say. Please, if you're in a space where you can turn your microphone off of mute, do so. I'm very excited to get this thing started. We are doing this virtually. I want everyone to appreciate the fact that we want to still bring comedy during a pandemic. I hope you like my Zoom background. It costs as much as my rent. I'm really excited that I get to do this. In the pandemic, I moved. I moved to a 2-bedroom with my boyfriend so that we could have an office because sometimes I want to feel classy and professional when I masturbate. So that's been one of the biggest shifts for me. Very excited. Thank you. The first laugh is always the hardest. I think that's a Sheryl Crow song. My name is Jurden, and I am a queer black man in America in 2021, so needless to say, I am exhausted. But the one thing that I have been happy about is I've been able to maintain my relationship during quarantine. It wasn't always easy. Early on, I was like, oh, I'm not queer, I'm just economical. Right? I'm not sexually fluid. I'm just fiscally savvy. I'm so happy I get to split rent with half of someone. But I know I love him. I'm so happy. He's not here. I date a former actor. And that's the way you do it. Because you will never be able to disappoint them the same way the industry did. You want to find someone who really puts the former in performer. Now he has a big boy job. He works for a data analytics company, which means I don't know what he does, but he knows everything y'all do. So say hello. It's so interesting because people ask you, "Oh, the pandemic, how's that been?" And you just take it a day at a time. You split everything up 50-50. Like I cook, he cleans, and we both cheat. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. He doesn't, and. I don't even cheat. I just say I have an errand to do because that's the other guy's name. Stop it. Y'all, my boyfriend hates that joke, but my secret boyfriend loves that joke. And my therapist says that I don't have to figure that out on stage in front of other people. I I don't want to brag, y'all, but I've been in search of the vaccine. About 3 weeks ago, I went to a doctor and I tried to flirt my way into a coronavirus vaccine. I went for a hepatitis shot and I was already half naked. And I was like, I sure do wish it was a different shot. And he was like, no, you're just going to get this one. So I did what any self-respecting New Yorker does. I went to a different doctor and then I told this doctor, I said, how can I get the vaccine? He said, well, Jay, technically you have a history of childhood asthma. So you could list that as a comorbidity and get the vaccine. And I was like, doc, but I grew out of my juvenile asthma. And he said, you never grow out of juvenile asthma if you want the vaccine.
Oh.
And I was like, you're right. So now I got the vaccine. I signed up the next day to get it. I got the Johnson & Johnson because I didn't want to take one of the good ones from old people. I went to the Javits Center. At 2 a.m. for my vaccine. I was like, Hell's Kitchen at 2 a.m. to do drugs with strangers? What am I, 25 again? It was so nice. So you get to the Javits Center. There's this long line. It's arguably the worst Comic-Con ever. Everyone's dressed like a really shitty Sub-Zero. And you get there and you see all these people that also lied to their doctors. And that's a real communal experience. I was happy to see that because New York is coming back. Before I got the vaccine, I was trying to still do comedy. So we did comedy outside. We did comedy wherever you could do comedy. I did comedy in the park. Doing stand-up comedy in the park is not really stand-up comedy as much as it's just America's new favorite game show, Are You More Interesting Than This Dog? And a lot of times, you're not gonna be. One time I did comedy in the park, and we were in Sheep Meadow, And unbeknownst to me, a guy in a Speedo with a gay pride flag ran behind me and the crowd erupted. They cheered and I didn't see this. So all I thought was, Jay, you're doing pretty good. But it turns out the crowd wasn't being supportive. They were being progressive. So I saw this. I turned around. I saw they were cheering for this other queer person. I whipped my head back around pretty fast and I said, hey, I suck dick too. And did you children go to these comedy shows in the park? Yeah, I missed a lot of stuff this summer. I missed going to Fire Island. I think we all know about Fire Island. It's like Sodom and Gomorrah, but worse. I don't want to say that I was a slut my first time going to Fire Island, but let's just say I came back to New York City feeling like a used Capri Sun. Right? Did y'all know you could lose weight in your testicles? I did not. Y'all are a good crowd. This is gonna be a lot of fun. I like performing for this many queer people because you don't get the opportunity all the time as a stand-up comedian. Sometimes you have to do very, very straight shows. I was doing a show years ago. I get on stage, say a few of my jokes, guy in the front row gets up, grumbles. I didn't know there was gonna be a gay guy here, left the show. And in my head I'm thinking, sir, what are you doing? This is New York City. There are definitely more outside. You need to stick with the evil you know. That's like going to the beach and saying, I love the water, but why didn't anyone tell me about all this damn sand? This place is lousy with the stuff. Oh no, my son's playing in it. Now he's gonna grow up to be sand. Because what is sand but gay dirt? And by that I mean highly malleable, slightly irritating, and somehow always ends up in your husband's trunks. I'm Jay Jurden. Y'all are gonna be such an amazing crowd for the rest of the comics. I want y'all to give it up for yourselves. Make a bunch of noise. Feel free to laugh. This is perfect. I'm wearing a free Todd Schneider shirt, so I feel very, very queer because I didn't have to pay for any of this. I got it through Instagram post. This next comedian, you have seen her on Comedy Central. She is so funny. Right now, I want everyone to make a bunch of noise for the very, very funny Jaye McBride.
Woo! Thank you so much. Thank you for Jay. You're awesome. I love you, Jay. So it's good seeing you again. And I love, this is cool that I'm doing a show for Grindr. Usually I'm not on dating apps like this because lately I've been into really, really older guys. Like I don't do online dating. I do carbon dating. Like really old. If I were on a dating site, it'd be called OK Boomer, I think. That's stupid. That's too stupid. Now, if I could date an older guy, I'd want one so old that he couldn't figure out online dating. That's how old, like Telegram dating. That's it. My problem is I have a tough time dating and I've kind of given up a little bit. Like I have a tough time dating because I don't know if you know this, but I'm trans. You're like, yeah, of course we know. We're on Zoom, not on Mars. Of course we know. Come on, admit it. Y'all were looking at me like, yeah, she's either trans or she's a drag queen who's just not putting in the effort. Which no, it's fine. It's fine. I am trans. So but that a little word, I will say the word tranny a lot. I do like to say that word, and I feel like that's the only advantage I have to transitioning is that I can say that word and you can't. Like that's it. That's the one advantage I have. That and sports if you're a Republican. But really, that's it. I do allow. Thanks. I can't tell if you're laughing at me or if there's a private chat. Either way, I'll take it. But no, there are two occasions where I allow someone to call me a tranny. It's if the person saying it is trans themselves, or if it's someone pulling my hair during rough sex. But that's it. Those are the only two cases. My dad wasn't a big fan of this whole thing. Like I remember when I was little, I was like, Dad, what do you call a little boy who wants to be a little girl? And he said, I don't know, but they're definitely not getting any ice cream. Which that's tough. That was rough. Yeah, it was bad. We used to argue all the time. Like the arguments got so bad at one point, we actually had to split the house in half. And he got the inside. So. I know it sounds bad, but don't worry. He dies in the end. So it all worked out. It was a miracle. It was my dad died around Christmas time, which was tough. I didn't know what to ask for because I already got what I wanted. It was a Christmas Day miracle. So I'm in therapy. Yeah, it's tough. You have to find the right therapist. So I know everyone in New York's in therapy, and I think it takes a while to find the right one. I remember I was in therapy with this one guy, and he was so good looking. Like, it was distracting how good he was, so hot. And I kept like, I couldn't pay attention. Like, I remember one week he said I should start dressing for the job I want, you know? So the next week I showed up in his wife's clothes. I did have a therapist fall asleep once during our session. True story. He literally fell asleep. I thought he was dead. And he said, "Oh my God, I forgot to tell you, I'm a narcoleptic." And I said, "That's all right. I forgot to tell you, I'm a necrophiliac." And that guy never fell asleep again. And if you're not laughing, you just don't know what necrophilia means. I don't know. That's because that's. So I've been measuring this quarantine by how many times I fucked up my bangs. Anyone else? Is that a thing? It's impossible not to. Like, I've cut my bangs and messed them up more times than I've washed my mask. It's sad. And like, it's like you get it. You can only go so what, like, between that, when it exposes that you haven't plucked your eyebrows in 3 months, it's like, I swear, my hair was like, I think it was up to here. It was like a hair hoodie. It was like this, it was like the most deranged mullet in history. It was, but anyway, I was raised Irish Catholic. I don't know if anyone else was raised Irish Catholic. Like, here's how Irish Catholic I am. My grandmother had 10 kids. Yeah, right. That's a good Irish Catholic woman. 10 kids. And she had 2 miscarriages. So she was pregnant 12 times in 16 years. Yeah, right. She didn't have periods. She had commas. And she was like an old school Irish Catholic woman too, you know, like, you know, she like made clothes by hand. She did laundry on a washboard. She had polio, you know, like old school. You know? And she came to me once. She was really superstitious. She came to me once and said, you know, she believed in ghosts. She said, "I heard your grandfather's voice today." It was like she's like dead serious. She believed in ghosts throughout haunting the house. She said, "I heard your grandfather's voice today." And he said, "Look to your children and they will provide." And then she said she looked in the kid's photo album and found a $20 bill. And I'm like, all right. 2 things, Grandma. First, how do I know you didn't put that money there yourself? Right. And second, Grandpa's alive. I do have a pretty big family myself. I grew up with 3 brothers, it was weird when you grow up with like in a fairly big family, but really cheap parents. So like when they ran the bathwater, they ran it once and we had to go in one right after the other, sharing this like it's disgusting. If you're the last one in, it's like the East River at low tide. It's terrible. It's terrible. And I remember I'm sitting in there and I'm looking down and I'm thinking, this is disgusting. I'm 32 years old. Once Mom washes my back, we have to talk. No, my brothers are cool. I do have like 2 of them are great. We've never been closer about the whole trans thing. One brother did disown me when he found out when I told him I was trans, but it's cool. I try and take the high road. You know, like when I heard he and his wife had a child, they sent him the nicest greeting card. It said, "Congratulations, it's a boy for now." And I have that card in a Hallmark in Albany, New York, which is my greatest achievement in history, I think. But anyway, thank you guys very much. I'm Jaye McBride.
Yay!
Thank you so much, Jay. It's something I say in the mirror every morning, but you did good too. I'm very excited to have other queer comics and ask them, what is your plan for the gay agenda this year? We all have one, but how are you going to dismantle and destroy the structure of heterosexuality in 2021? Now that we've already put a microchip in all of them.
Right. That's the microchip, which, but no, my goal, like as a trans person, like I figure a guy who sleeps with me, it's not going to be too hard to push him over the whole way. You know, I feel like I'm like the gateway queer. So it's like, you know, if you sleep with me, I can just, you know, I can convince him. That's what I'm hoping anyway.
I hope that more straight guys realize that they're queer than they thought this year.
Yes.
I think it's already started to happen with TikTok, with them like rolling barbells over their asses and like showing off like how good they look in TikTok leggings. I think it's working through media and technology. Eventually, they'll come to the conclusion.
100%. How are you getting rid of the gay agenda? How are you promoting it?
Okay. So I'm making all of my straight friends buy shorter shorts every year. Every time I see a straight guy in knee-length shorts, I go just a little bit higher. So eventually, we're gonna get back to 70s style Daisy Dukes for cis straight guys. Everyone's just gonna look like the Dukes of Hazzard.
I want to see the overalls, the short overalls on guys.
Without the racism, though. You want to see the over shorts?
The overall shorts. Yes, like the over shorts. Then I'll know like it's complete.
Jay, I'm from Mississippi and I don't even have that kink. So that says a lot about you. That's a lot to take in. Thank you so much. I'm very excited that we got to see you. All right. Y'all are being a good crowd. More microphones could be on. I'm hearing some laughter sneaking in. I want to hear it like fall in. I need you. Come on. This is a very vocal group. I would assume. I read some of the profiles before we got here. So this next comedian, very, very good friend of mine. You've read his work in the New Yorker. Super, super funny. Everyone right now, make a bunch of noise for Zach Zimmerman.
Yay! Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. Okay, a quick survey, everyone. Please make some noise if you feel like you've changed as a person over the past year.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, the rest of you the same assholes we were before. That's good to know. I have definitely changed. I used to text my friends, "What's up, faggots?" And now I text them, "Sending you love and healing energy." Faggots. I think it's just been too much alone time. And to be clear, there is a difference between being alone and being lonely, and I am both. But don't feel sorry for me, y'all. Feel sorry for the telemarketers that get assigned to me. Phone me up. "Hello, Mr. Zimmerman. Can we talk to you about your car insurance? I don't own a car, but I'd love to talk." Can I speak to your supervisor next? And if you have a survey, I'm happy to stay on the line. I'd really like that. I am single, currently in between blowjobs at the moment. And it's scary being single. We have to monitor where we go. You don't want to like accidentally meet the one at Panera. So your life, well, we met at Panera. So I don't go to Panera. I haven't been to an Applebee's in 4 years. I'll go to a DSW in disguise and for curbside pickup only, Not having my meet cute at the discount shoe warehouse. No, sir. People ask what I want in a lover, and I think I figured it out. I want a boyfriend so hot people think I'm his agent. Like, I want you to see us on the street and be like, he manages the three-way logistics for this couple. Yeah, definitely. Like, you see us on the street and you're like, they're not gonna last. I want a boyfriend so hot that the Westboro Baptist Church makes an exception. They show up to our wedding, pick it, see him, pack up. It's like gay sex is a sin, but Zach, you can get it in. That's allowed. Exception for you. You can't tell this by Zoom, but I am tall. This is actually probably what you expected from a Grindr stand-up show. Now, being tall is not a walk in the park. It is a fast walk in the park. But, we have struggles, okay? Like, I can't get to a concert early. I am a concert villain. The people behind me, I can't wait to see Lady Gaga. You're going to hear Lady Gaga. At most, babe. I'm sorry. It's okay. She's not known for spectacle. You're gonna and everybody's like, everybody wants a tall guy. But what about what I want? All right? I want to cross my legs in the backseat of a cab. I want to not have to help someone buy tuna fish at the grocery store. Okay? I want to be able to raise my hand and not tickle the feet of God. All right? Very tickling. But everybody wants a tall guy, they say. And people have questions for tall people, too. They're like, hey, you play basketball? No, I'm very gay and afraid of the sport. Hey, you a natural-born leader? I'm a coward in a crisis. Hey, you got a big dick? Do you guys know baby cupcakes? The surprising satisfaction of a baby cupcake. You know, a regular cupcake, sometimes it's too much cupcake, and you really just want, never mind. This is my tall trauma, and I talk about it I'm in a support group for tall boys cast as dads in high school plays. Oh, you might want to get that. That's all right. No, pick it up. What was it? I'm curious. My mom's a server. I love talking to people. I will. Oh, I've embarrassed her. I hope it's a happy call. I hope in this time you got to pick up every call that comes.
Well, now we'll never know.
Whenever I call them, they know they're in store for a 2-hour conversation during the pandemic. Like, that's the minimum phone call length that I have. Ugh. Did my tall trauma joke land? Did I finish that one? I'll tell it again. I'm in a support group for tall boys cast as dads in high school plays. Laugh, 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 laugh. Thank you. I bring my own laugh track these days. Do we have any Drag Race fans here? Woo! Okay, there they are. I suspected as much. This month, it's the 2-year anniversary of when I got to open for Drag Race legend Alyssa Edwards. It's also the 2-year anniversary of when I learned who that is. I hadn't watched the show, y'all. I'm sorry. When I came out, I wanted to kiss boys. I didn't know we'd have homework. And there was a lot of gay homework. Like, we got gay history. There's gay English, which is British. There's gay math. 7 doesn't always equal 7. But I take the gig, I show up, and no one knows I'm going to be there. So the announcer's like, you guys ready for Alyssa Edwards? Yes, honey! Go off, mama! Well, here's Zach Zimmerman. What is happening? Hey, did you get the wrong tickets? There's a youth pastor on stage. Okay. Trinity Taylor out of drag? Okay. Concerning. He's in flats. Well, he is tall. It's mostly neck. Let's be honest. I asked the booker after how I got this gig, and she said Alyssa wanted someone gay but not too fabulous. Which was humbling. And, like, accurate. I don't own curtains. Come on, y'all. It's pretty on the nose. But I took the note, and over the past year, I've done my gay homework. I've watched every lesson. And so if the Duchess would ever like to have me back again, I won't get cute. I'll get drop dead gorgeous. Can we add a tongue pop in post? A really big tongue pop? I can't do it. Everybody on 3, show me your best tongue pop. 1, 2, 3. I thought June was going to be hopping, but that maybe we'll all be tired and sleep in June. Woo! I can't believe that it's 2020. I'm getting older, y'all, and I know it because my favorite porn stars are retiring. And I grew up with those guys. So now, and I'm stubborn too. So I'm watching the classics. I'm masturbating to the past, like a Republican. It's bad. Hey. No, I'm getting older too because I got called daddy in the bedroom as well. And that's something you don't forget. Yeah, I had this guy over, and I had roommates at the time. One of them was hot, which is a really toxic energy to have in your home, by the way. But our walls were really thin. So I'm like, hey, we need to be really quiet. And so we start 69ing, and that's the quietest form of sex. It's rude to talk with your mouth full. And then we switch to the favorite of Christians before marriage, anal. And that's when he calls me daddy. And while I'd played the role in high school, I was not prepared to, and the way he said it too, it wasn't like, Daddy, give it to me, Dad. He had an accent. So it was like, Daddy, give it to me, Daddy. No, like I was withholding his bonbon. Stop it, Daddy, you're being a silly daddy. You know, I was fucking Veruca from the Chocolate Factory. I want it now, Daddy. No, it was me and Dobby the house elf. Dobby has no daddy. Dobby is a free elf now, Daddy. And, I mean, I guess it's true what they say. You never forget the day you become a father. Thank you so much. I'm Zach Zimmerman, and y'all been so.
Thank you.
Phone call was good news.
Zach, when you raised your hand, you were directly below me, so I felt you tickle me.
That makes you're my. Everybody loves puppets.
No, that's a different app. Stop it. No. Vanilla. Stop. All right, Pete.
Don't treat me like your dog, Jay.
All right, I'm very excited to have you, Zach. I want to ask you a question. What was the gayest thing you did this week?
Oh, this week. It's weird because in the pandemic, I feel very straight. Like I'm taking World War II history classes online. I'm like going for walks. I'm checking in on Nisa. It feels gay this week. I've been in the DMs a little. I wasn't for most of the quarantine, and now I'm, tiptoeing back in. We're exchanging some messages with some cuties, I don't mean DMs, I mean on my Grindr extra account.
Thank you. Good answer.
How I hook up with locals in my area.
Well, Zach, I really do hope that you eventually dust those cobwebs off. And I'm very excited to see you at the free clinic with me. All right, make a bunch of noise for Zach Zimmerman, y'all. Woohoo! Y'all have been such an amazing crowd. Like I said, we have some very notable, very, very funny queer comedians on this lineup. This next comedian, you've seen them on Comedy Central. You've seen them on Conan. They are hilarious. Everyone right now, put your hands together, make a bunch of noise for the very funny Joel Kim Booster.
Hey! Hello. Thank you guys so much for having me. I am so excited to be performing for a live audience of all Grindr employees. Without each and every one of you, I would not have developed body dysmorphia thanks to your app. Very much appreciated. Thank you so much. I'm a big fan of your app. Your app has been the cause of many a throat gonorrhea that I've had. And, so thank you guys. You are the real heroes out there. You are the real first responders. When I bang my pots and pans at 8:00, it is for the Grindr employees. The pandemic has changed the way I have sex a lot. I mean, obviously it changed the way I have sex because you have to be very careful now. You have to get tested beforehand and quarantine beforehand. And it really is a shame because the one thing I miss from the before times is having sex with people I don't trust, like that is a real thing I miss. I miss getting chlamydia from somebody I had to hide my wallet from before they came over, Another wonderful thing about your app is being robbed. There was a lot of things that I missed from the before times. I used to do stand up on the road a lot. I used to travel all over the place to do stand up. One of my favorite places to do stand up, of course, was cruise. I used to do a lot of cruise gigs, which a lot of people don't find very glamorous, but I loved. I did a lot of gay cruises, and I have to tell you, it is so inspiring to me to see all of these gay men come from all over the world and come together in order to smuggle so many drugs onto one boat. It is unlike anything I've ever seen my entire life before. All my friends were there, the amphetamines, the opiates, the hallucinogens, everybody came. It was incredible. This boat that I was on, it was full. It was me and 6,000 other gay men and 36 very confused women. And it was A load of fun. I will say I did almost get tricked into doing meth on the very first night.
Okay.
And it's very simple. It's just like tripping over a cord. Anybody could do it. What happened is I met these two gentlemen from East London on the very first night, and they were like, "Hey, do you want to come back to our room and do drugs?" And I was like, "Babe, we're at sea. Let's go. You know, maritime law says I must accept." So I got back to the room and I was like, "What is on the menu? What are we doing tonight?" And they were like, "It's meth." And I was like, "Okay. Well, I was sort of saving that one for my 40s. So thank you. I'm going to pass tonight and I'm going to go." And they were like, no, Joel, it's meth. And I was like, "Okay, but I just said no to that." And they're like, no, meth. And I was like, again, still no. And they're like, meth. And I was like, stop. And they were like, meth. And I was like, this is the worst reboot of Who's on First ever. I don't like this. What is going on? Please just leave me alone. And finally, they had to spell it out for me because of their goofy little accents. They were like, no, Joel, it's meth, MEPH. You don't have this drug in America yet. And I was like, okay, hand it over. You know, so I did the mystery drug. I danced the night away. I had the time of my goddamn life. And the next morning we port in Italy and I get service back on my old phone. And I was like, let me Google this meth shit and figure out why we don't have it in America and what I can do to bring it there, you know? And I have some good news and I have some bad news for all of you sitting here today. The good news is we do have it in America. The bad news is we call it bath salts here. So it was sort of a lateral move for me in terms of the drugs I did and didn't want to do on the ship that night. But here's the thing about bath salts, guys, that you might not have heard about in the news. I loved it. It's great. I'm gonna try it. A little bit couldn't kill you. I mean, it has killed, but I just think it's getting a bad rap in the media, as a lot of things do. I really do. I'm so fascinated by drugs. I really am. I'm so fascinated by drug culture. Like, I'm always wondering, like, where are people getting the drugs? Like, I get them from Vanessa, but where does Vanessa get the drugs that I buy from her? You know, like when I buy ketamine from Vanessa, which is a literal horse tranquilizer, like how does she get her hands on that? Like, where is she going? Is she just showing up to the vet one day like, please, sir, my horses, they're very sick. I need the medicine. You know, I don't understand. And then the secondary question, why am I doing a horse tranquilizer? Who started that trend in our community? What gay vet woke up one day and was like, you know what? These horses are having the time of their lives. And I would like to partake in that. You know what's funny is that I do a lot of drugs. I don't drink anymore. I just can't do it. The hangovers are super intense on my body and I don't enjoy that experience anymore. But it's funny because ever since I moved to California, everybody that I've talked to has been like, no, Joel, the best hangover cure is weed. All you have to do is smoke a little bit of weed and the hangover gone. And I don't know if any of you here have tried this, but I have. And boy, is it like putting a hat on a hat. It is not a good remedy at all. I still had a splitting headache, but I also felt like everyone was mad at me too, which is really helpful. Really, really great. I love Grindr. I love Grindr, the app. I have been catfished nonstop on your platform. I am sending out nudes with reckless abandon. And it's funny because I recently found out that my nudes leaked. They were posted online from somebody who had catfished me on Grindr. And I was furious. I felt violated. I was deeply upset. But then I found out that they were on a message board for celebrity nudes. And I was like, they can stay, you know? Just for a few days. No, the reviews were good. It's okay. I do love the anthropological experiment of Grindr because I have seen so many dicks just from all over the world. So many dicks. And it's interesting to me because I find that a lot of men are obsessed with the size of the penis, which makes sense. You know, they're obsessed with the size of the penis, but they forget that their penis can also be terribly ugly too, which is almost worse if you really think about it. Because have you ever seen an ugly dick? The last thing you want is an ugly, it looks like a piece of driftwood, you know? Have you ever seen a dick like that? It looks like a tree branch that fell into a storm, you know? And then it's like a piece, I don't know. It's just, it's a worse thing for me, an ugly dick. I do want to talk a little bit about something controversial now. I don't know how much time I have left, but it is something. Oh, 1 minute. Okay, well then I'll finish this really. So, you know, the other thing I missed from before times is a party that turns into an orgy. You know, it's very so the straight people in the audience don't know this, but any party that has more than 5 gay men at any point could turn into an orgy. You know, it's just like we're feral cats. And recently, or not recently, that's an old transition. Before, I was at a party that had turned into an orgy, and there was a man at the party. It was very clear that we were all going to have sex, but they were like, you have to leave. You have to go. And I was like, this is an injustice for this man. He's cute. I mean, he's certainly not going to be the star of the orgy, but for me, I was like, he can stay if he wants to. And then like an M. Night Shyamalan movie, it was revealed to me that this man who was so desperate to stay at the orgy was the host's cousin. And I was like, why would you want to stay if you are the cousin? But here is what I thought about after that moment. And this is how I have decided to leave all of you and end this set. Gay people should be allowed to do incest. Okay? You've heard it here first. It's the next frontier. I really think like lateral incest, cousins, like that should be our reparations, honestly. Gay people should be allowed to do incest judgment free, okay? You heard it here first. Let's get this movement started. Let's fuck our cousins. And if you're judging me for this right now and you're saying, ew, that's gross, I'm sorry you don't have a hot cousin. My time. I'm Joel Kim Booster. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Breaking down barriers. I mean, gay people having sex with their cousins is just the reverse of what history textbooks tell us about Achilles and Patroclus. So I get it. I understand the historical origin of this, which helps me dovetail into the question I want to ask you, Joel. Today, just the 25th or the 1st, April 1st. How gay are you feeling on a spectrum of I hate gay people all the way to I hate gay people?
You know what? I am feeling, on that spectrum, I am feeling the Westboro Baptist Church parody of Poker Face, Faggot Face. You know, I don't know if you know this, but the Westboro Baptist Church has a ton of amazing song parodies. And
Joe,
Faggot
that's
Face
my
is
16-bar cut. I'm auditioning with that. How did you? I don't have the sheet music on me, but
would love to hear a little bit of it. But yeah, that's how gay I'm feeling. That's how hateful I'm feeling towards the gay community. It's a Westboro Baptist song parody.
I am feeling ambivalent towards gay people right now because as every time we go for it, we take ourselves back. Like every gay person who did something great in the name of Breonna Taylor and George Floyd, there were like 2 other gay people that were like, well, I mean, yeah, but also cops are hot. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Stop. That's like, not what Ice Cube meant.
Abolish the police. Don't dance with them at Pride, okay?
Thank you so much, Joel Kim Booster. Always a pleasure. Everyone, thank you. Oh, stop it. We're going to be here all day. He's from the Midwest. I'm Southern. It's just going to be compliments and you betches. All right. This next comedian, I'm so happy to have them. You've seen her on Comedy Central. She's one of the funniest people on both coasts. I don't know where she is now. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego right now? Everyone make a bunch of noise for the very, very funny Sydnee Washington.
Hello. I just want to stop Jay right there. I am not the funniest. I am no longer funny. I am a civilian. I'm a civilian now. I don't know if you know the last 12 months I've been doing civilian things like talking about the weather, caring about curtains, asking people how they're doing it and meaning it. Like, I care now. So I am no longer a comedian. From the bottom of my heart, I just want to be like, who Andy, you just seem so calm. You seem like you don't have a care in the world. You seem like you have a salt and pepper shaker on your table. That's what it looks like. Oh, is that a home? Do you have a whole home? That's a civilian. That is comedians. We don't know what it is to purchase a home, let alone have our own bedroom. We usually share it with other people, and I'm one of those people. No, actually, I because of the pandemic, I have a 2-bedroom apartment, and now I only have 15 roommates. They consist of cats and plants. That's where I am. I love the fact that soon as the global pandemic happened, I was like, what can I do to not look like I'm a bad person? You know what I mean? And plants and cats, those are the things that people relate to. So now that I have my cats and plants, now I can do the dirty, dumb shit like ketamine. Like Joel was talking about ketamine. When I have cats and plants, I was doing things like, and first of all, it is cat tranquilizer. It is not horse tranquilizer. I know that this is being taped, but there is a cat tranquilizer, and that's, I would know because I was actually friends with a vet. And that's the thing, you need to be friends with a vet. You don't have friends in high places. If you want to get high, you have to have friends in high places. And I was friends with a lot of vets, even though I didn't own a cat or a dog. Okay, I'm going off the rails now. I'm so sorry. Okay, let's zoom back, right? Let's zoom back. You didn't hear any of the things that I realized that I'm not happy for people. I know that Facebook a lot. Facebook is for the people who have no shame. They have no gall. They are the see more. They have a post and it says see more, those people are terrible because they think that I'm going to press see more because I want to know more about you. When it's like, no, I just want it to be like, I want it to be like Twitter. I only want 240 characters of you. I only want a picture of you. I don't want to see a 12-page dissertation about your day. But Facebook does that. And so people go on Facebook and tell you their thoughts, their prayers. And I had this friend of mine, I'm talking about in the height of George Floyd, the height of the pandemic, people are dying left and right. She wrote, I remember the day, July 12th. She wrote July 12th, 2000. I am having the best day of my life. That's what she wrote on Facebook. Everyone is miserable, crying. I mean, people are marching. They're marching, police brutality. We're seeing so many things that hurt our souls. And this bitch who I thought was a proper person wrote, I am having the best day of my life. Comma. She wrote comma because she needed you to know there's more. Oh, not only is she having the best day of her life, she told us why. She listed why she was having the best day of her life. Not giving a fuck. Family members. I mean, I went to 2 funerals on Zoom. Bitch, how dare you tell us that you're having the best day of your life? Meanwhile, back at the ranch, she's also on a yacht. She's also skinny. She had a thigh gap, abs, thigh gap at yacht, on a yacht with 30 people, mind you. Pandemic. This is when, if you are on a boat and traveling, you put it on your Finsta. You don't let everybody know that you're out and about when there's no vaccine, right? She had the nerve to be on a boat with abs, with a thigh gap, skinny bitch, blonde. Had the nerve to say, I'm having the best day of my life. I just got a job. This woman was white. I'm sorry. I should have this white woman in one of the worst years of our lives said that she was having the best day of her life. She was 33. That's 33. Even if this was the best day of your life, bitch, why would we want to hear that? I'm sorry, not on my wig's dime. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Melissa. Why would you think? Why? First of all, white women were not on the menu that day. We are not happy to hear any goodness that's coming out of your life. If you are not marching, if you're not giving up money, if you're not being an ally and throwing your body in front of the bullets that my people are taking, we don't want to care about your good day. So I was on Facebook and we're still friends. So I just wanted to I had to get that off my chest that the worst people are on Facebook and they will tell you all the good things about themselves and have no shame, and you should block them. And that's how you know I'm unwell, because I was on Facebook and I continue. Everyone has moved on. They are on the Tick and the Talk. They are on Club of the House. They're moved on to my dumbass is still on Facebook, because you know why? You know why? Ads. I am on Facebook for the ads. If you don't know that, the last 12 months have turned me into a psycho, and I wouldn't tell you to trust me with any of your children or anything of that matter that matters to you. I'm on Facebook looking up Instagram light ads. You know, the lights for the people who are mentally unstable and possibly don't have a boyfriend or girlfriend or person in their lives. That's me. I'm the person buying those lights, and I'm on Facebook every day trying to find a new light. Because I'm missing the light that I deserve in my life, I buy the lights to replace that. Why am I lying? I just wanted you to know that I am in a relationship. I know I sounded very sad and disturbed, but I am taken. And yes, if you think that you are crazy on this call, there's somebody out there for you. Yes, yes. All you have to do is pretend that you have it together for 2 weeks. I bet you if you can just hold off for 2 weeks, somebody will be like, I want you. And I want you to know that you're on Grindr, you're on these dating apps, but I found my girlfriend in the comments. So you can go on these apps and
Wow.
who's 30 miles away, who's next door. No, go in the comments. The comments is where people are their real selves. So you can find the love of your life with just a few wet emojis, and that's how we became one. I saw a few wet emojis in the comment thread, and I said, "Oh, that's who I'm going to marry." Mind you, I was in a relationship for 5 years, and it ended right before Corona, thank goodness. And it was insane because we still talk. Me and my ex are still friends. We talk every day, because I owe her money. But no, in the lesbian community, we don't believe in, breaking up and not speaking anymore. And I'm in a better place. I'm in a better place that she is my friend. And I ended up winning 2 cats in our breakup. I won 2 cats, and she got her credit card back. So that is literally love wins. Great people want to take the kids, they want to take your money, they want to take your sanity. The gays, we win things in our breakups. Lastly, I have been a lesbian for 8.5 years now, full time. Thank you. I used to date men, and I thought that I was heterosexual, but that was just depression. So anyone who thinks that they're straight, just get on meds. Just get on antidepressants. And truly, the taste of dick, I couldn't do it. It's not for me. No, but I was dating men for 12 years, and it was interesting. It was interesting because a lot of the times, women are not coming. I don't know if everyone on the call knows, but women are not coming, and no one cares. No one gives a damn that we're not coming. Men can lose their whole family in a car crash and still come on the walls. But women, I could be fully having sex and then think that the candle is still burning at my apartment, and then I can't come for the rest of the year. So women are coming and no one cares. And I just want you to know that, where am I going with this? Wow, I lost my train of thought. I'm really still stuck on the fact that I started off with talking about ketamine, and I'm sorry about that.
I'm so happy that we were able to present y'all with so many funny comedians: Jaye McBride, Zach Zimmerman, Joel Kim Booster, and the incomparable Sydnee Washington. I have been your host, Jurden. Please support these comedians any way you can by looking up their material and their credits outside of this. If nothing else, we want you to have a very gay and Grindr night. That means do whatever it is you got to do to find love and dating in 2021. Thank you for logging in and watching us. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh my God.